Okay, this is a demonstration of the BrainAvatar connectivity suite. One of the features is Z-scored sLORETA coherence metrics. So this is a display in which the specific connectivity in a given frequency band between different hubs or locations, here Brodmann areas, is turned into a Z-score. So we can see, for example, in this client, there's this anterior-posterior sort of communication going on at this particular moment. We can look at other frequency bands as well. We could look at alpha, for example, and there we see that there's a somewhat different pattern cross hemispheric, as well as a lot on the right side, which is interesting for this particular client. And we can adjust the Z-score ranges so that you see either more or less of those connections, including the lower amplitude, the lower connectivity, lower scores, and we can remove them by sliding the what we call the palette control. So that just demonstrates that basic capability of seeing sLORETA, which is brain connectivity. And we can choose different regions. For regions of interest, we could say all hubs. And now our display is going to be limited to those areas that are specifically hubs, Hagman hub and that type of thing. And then again, we specifically see the coherence deviations that appear in that group. Obviously, the other screens are all available. We have the live LORETA projector, and this gives us the sLORETA amplitude or power. Here we see very low alpha. Here is actually what this client's EEG looks like, very low alpha and a lot of gamma. And we know there's muscle on T4. But then we can choose, for example, to look at gamma, and there we'll see that the client has more than a typical gamma. So this is going up -2 to +3.7 standard deviations. Again, we can adjust the palette here so that we get more specificity. We can ask to see the voxels only in the palette range, and then as we squeeze up, we get a lot more specificity. So here we see that the gamma excess in sLORETA definitely is focused on Brodmann 7. Very clear in this example, being able to do that. So we would look then for F7 with regard then to the I mean Brodmann 7, with regard to any abnormalities. And again, we do see Brodmann 7 here on the right-hand side. So that's just a demonstration of how this tool can be used. We also, of course, have these live surface maps showing the deficits, alpha, low beta, beta, the excessive gamma. We disregard, of course, on the right, that muscle thing. And then we see coherences and phase also live. And we can even list Z-scores by region, frontal lobe, occipital, et cetera, We have for all the frequency bands the Z-scores, and there again we see this diffuse alpha deficit, most pronounced parietal, makes a lot of sense. And then the excess of gamma, which interestingly is asymmetric. There's more gamma on the right than on the left. We did notice that there seems to be an asymmetry, more things going on the right. So again, showing just how these tools can be used and help you understand what's happening.